Even though my background is in psychology and counseling and education, I'm a historian in the heart. So when I heard of if we keep doing what we've always done, we're just going to get the same thing over and over again. How does an institution steeped in tradition learn to adopt itself to a new crop of students that are coming to it every year? So the theme for the afternoon will be built around these 3 C's. We're going to talk about communities, connections, and content. Or maybe a 4th one. And if I added a 4th one in there, it would be collaboration. That's going to be the hallmark of the next Tuskegee graduate and the current Tuskegee's class. That those C's are active parts of the educational practice and have to be embraced by faculty, they have to be embraced by administration, and certainly have to be embraced by students. But it's in a different vocabulary. And that's what we'll start off with in a couple of seconds. Let's take a 50,000-foot view, and let's just talk about college graduates. The United States is going to push out 1.3 million in 2006. What, 1.4 million in 2007 or 2008? It'll incrementally go up. But look to the right. Look at what China is going to push out. Doubling the number of graduates that we have here. Do you know our kids are going to compete against them, but then again there's another market they're going to compete against as well. You know the answer to the question? By saying 100% of all the Indians graduates, college graduates can speak English. How many Tuskegee students can speak Hindu? Probably very, very few. Or Chinese, or Russian, or Japanese. In 10 years, it is predicted that the #1 English-speaking country in the world will be China. Absolutely right. You have been watching the Olympics. Okay. China, it requires all students to learn English. Do we require all students to learn Chinese? No. It's an elective. If you want to learn it, fine. You don't have to. How did you Google 10 years ago? You didn't. So how did you find out information 10 years ago? Do you remember the, I'm going to try this word out. Do you remember the Encyclopedia Britannica? Yes. Oh, yeah. But now, in Googling, you have a tendency to start off and then change plans. So you can go anywhere you want, and you find yourself doing that, don't you? 2.7 billion Googles, let's finish the equation, this month. We're preparing kids, students, for jobs that don't even exist, to solve problems we don't even know what they are. That's the problem. So as much as you are a professor of whatever it is that you are in here, and you're saying, well, I'm going to teach them my discipline and my core thinking, by the time they are 38, they will have already changed between 10 and 14 different jobs. So Apple went out and decided to do something that was rather interesting. We did. We sent a film crew out to a couple of colleges, and we caught some kids in between classes, out in the quadrangle, out on the grass, coming out on their way to the next class. And we took the film crew, and we sat them down and said a little bit about what you think college is or is not, and how you feel about college. See if this is your kids at Tuskegee.
I went to college because I thought
college is the next level. As a digital native,
we're visual learners.
People's attention span now is
more demanding.
99% of the teachers do it the old-fashioned way of
sit down, you listen to someone lecture for 40, 50 minutes.
Being in this lecture-based environment that a classroom is presents a problem because
just lectures limits my learning.
Did you catch the last part? That's the one I like the most. Lectures limits my learning. And here might be a definition of what that learning environment might be like. Look through some of the words that I've tried to find, and this is from a collection of different readings, on what would be an expectation for a student at Tuskegee. They would expect that no matter the class, no matter the professor, it should be an environment that will allow me to use digital tools. Now wait a minute, digital tools, that could be a cell phone, that could be an iPod, that could be a laptop computer, that could be any digital tool. They want to have a mobile lifestyle. Learning should not necessarily occur always in this classroom. Why am I limited by these four walls? Why can't I learn outside? Why can't I learn in a group, in my dorm, at home? Distance learning. I want to have a different way of learning. I don't always listen very well, but I can write it. Or maybe it's the other way around. I can't write very well, but I listen very well. I like to talk about it. No, I don't like to talk about it. What kind of a learning style does your student have? And do we allow that to be expressed in the classroom? That's the difficult part. They are extremely mobile. They want to be mobile. They don't want to necessarily sit and listen to me or you or anybody else for 40 or 50 minutes in a lecture-based environment. They want to actively participate in the learning environment. Anything that you can think of, I can put on an iPod. Instead of the four walls, that kid's going to take this out and walk around with it. They're going to carry it in their car, it's going to be in their back pocket or their pocketbooks. They have an opportunity, and if you'll notice, the music is gone from the screen, and I attempted to replace it with something else. And I put up heart murmurs. Who would be interested in heart murmurs as a student? What kind of a student would want to hear about heart murmurs? A med student? Well, now I'm going to push the window really far. If you bought into this so far, I got a different kind of learners that love to be mobile with small devices. If you bought into that flow, I want you to be the president of a small faith-based college out in Texas called Abilene Christian University. Ever heard of it? So I want to give you a glimpse of what it's like to be a freshman at this beautiful little school in West Texas.
Okay, thanks. Next. Hi, welcome to ACU. We're going to get you all set up. Do you have your ID? Yes. I promise you, this is going to be your campus lifeline. You'll use it all the time. I'm just going to do a couple of things to get you set up. So, it's not going to be really difficult. I promise, it's going to be easy.
What you heard of that garbled part was, so it's not going to be really difficult? Her definition of difficult and our definition of difficult miles apart. Difficult to her is, well, do I have to learn Cobalt or some other language? No. It's a different kind of a language to them. So you've now been given this little device, and she says your entire experience is in this little box, in this little handheld device. Well, you've gone back to your dorm room, and you've opened it up, and when you turned it on, this showed up. Not the kind of stuff that came from the factory that Apple put on it. No, they've changed it. So you can get your email, but look at the bottom. I can get my Facebook. I can find out what courses I'm enrolled in. If there are any documents my professors want me to read, I can pull them down. You're enrolled in Psychology 120, a standard freshman, sophomore level entry class. And you're going to your first day of that class as well. You know where the building is because that can take you there. So you've now decided to go to class. Your device is in your hand. And here is your class as if it was filmed already.
Hello everybody, welcome to Psychology 120, Introduction to Psychology. My name is Richard Beck and I'm going to be your professor this semester. Before we go through the syllabus, there's a choice that you have to make and how you like to go through the course. You're going to have a choice between a hybrid online discussion format or a traditional seminar face-to-face conversation. Now for those of you that choose the hybrid format, we're only going to be meeting once a week. Sounds like good news, however, you're going to be involved in online conversations with me and your classmates throughout the week, okay? Those of you that are going to take this face-to-face seminar, you'll meet with me in the second class of the week, and we'll have face-to-face conversations. Okay, so before we do that, what I need to do is take out your iPhones and indicate your choice of preference. Would you like to take the hybrid format or the more traditional format? You can go ahead and do that now, if you'd like to. Okay, it looks like about half of you have chosen the hybrid format. So what you can do is check iTunes U and also the online forum for you to begin your online conversations. The rest of you I'll see later on this week.
Whoa, first day of class, and you have to choose between you want a face-to-face or you want this once a week thing that I'm going to talk to you electronically.